Hello and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we watched Red, Retired and Extremely Dangerous. More like we're tired and not.
And extremely dangerous.
Yeah. I'm sleepy and I've got a gun. Right.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, so sorry, big yawn. I'm meant to be tired.
See, told you.
Oh god, she's got a gun!
I absolutely loved this film when it first came out. I can't remember if I saw it in cinema or not, but I think I saw it on Film 4 definitely, and really enjoyed it. And it's one of those films that I've consistently watched, like every year or so. For quite a while. It was just like a good go-to movie. I always found it quite funny. Yeah, I really like all of the actors in it. Obviously, it's got a pretty huge cast, but they're all just old.
Yeah.
And I really like the sequel as well, although I don't think that one is going to have held up quite as much if we do that one. But yeah, this one, it scratched that, like, it did everything that The Losers didn't.
Yeah, it's not difficult. They had a film that had a memorable scene, so...
Yeah. And there's lots of good bits in this film.
Yeah.
It was actually really good.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen this, like, I've definitely seen it a couple of times, but not for ages. And I only really vaguely remembered a couple of bits. Like, I feel like if I've seen it, it's been, like, on telly or something, and I've caught most of it, but never sat down actively to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. It was, like, Red and Red 2 have both done the rounds on all of the TV channels.
Yeah, I completely missed this film when it first came out. Like, completely missed. I had no idea it existed until I saw the second one.
Oh, right.
I was like, oh, there's a... Oh. This does have huge on film 4 at 9 p.m. energy.
Yeah, it's like... it's actiony enough to be... Like, it's a very clean action film. Like, there's bits like you could say are problematic, but it kind of deals with them fairly well, and like it's genuinely quite funny as well. That's what I think I enjoyed about it, is that the action it's not quippy, it's like genuinely quite funny.
Yeah.
Whereas like a lot of the comic book stuff that we've watched, just the Marvel stuff in general, can be just smart zingers.
Yeah, no one actually talks to each other, they all quip at each other.
Yeah.
Whereas this, they actually, like, the characters feel like they've known each other forever.
Yeah, and I guess they kind of have, because these guys' paths have crossed before.
Yeah,
for the most part.
This is
Bruce
like...
Willis, Helen Mirren, Morgan Freeman, and John Malkovich.
Yeah.
This is...
Like,
so
what a cast.
This is the less serious Expendables. Because like, the Expendables is all of the like actual action hero actors getting together to make a film. This is like all of the well, apart from Bruce Willis, all of like the non-action hero actors, like Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Getting together to be like, let's make a fun... And they genuinely look like they're having fun making this film.
I think that's what I enjoy about it, is that it doesn't take itself seriously at all.
Like, it knows when it does the reveals for each actor, it knows that they're the actor.
Yeah, it plays into the sort of tropes of that actor, but in a good way.
Yeah, like, you get like the reveals, you get character reveals, except it's actor reveals.
Yeah. Surprise, John Malkovich in a spring trap.
Yeah, like, surprise, Helen Mirren. And
I love all of their introductions are great as well. Like, they're really personalized, and like Bruce Willis is basically, it opens with, if you haven't seen this film, like, I would recommend seeing it because it is a good time. But like, it opening with him on the phone about his check that like hasn't been posted, but obviously we see it has been posted, and he just wants to talk to this lady. Because he's lonely. He's retired. He's retired. He's got old.
Yeah, he's
lonely.
Retired CIA agent.
Yeah, so he's got no family or anything because he knew that if he did when he worked for the CIA, then they'd be at risk. So
Yeah.
now
So he's just like
he's just an old man on his own.
talking to an insurance woman through the phone.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, is it like pensions or something that she works
yeah,
for?
Yeah.
pensions fund. Yeah,
That's so good.
And it's very clear that this happens at least every month,
Yeah.
or if not multiple times a month.
And you can tell that she's happy about it as well.
Yeah, she likes
Yeah,
the
she doesn't mind talking
attention.
to him.
Yeah, she.
Great.
Yeah, it like she's not. What I like about it is that she's. I mean, she's younger than him, because
Yeah.
she's not that young. She's not like innocent.
No, she's not like a 19-year-old.
Yeah, she's not being like. He's not being pervy. He genuinely likes talking to her,
Yeah.
and she likes talking to him.
And she acts and behaves like a fully grown adult, which is
Yes.
rare when you get these kind of like age differences.
Because essentially the CIA put out a hit on him, and he immediately, obviously, he wipes them out completely because he is an excellent CIA agent.
Yeah.
Which was also that tickled the kind of almost heist itch where he was like setting off. He put some coins on a pan.
Oh, it's the bullets in the pan. Yeah,
The bullets on the pan even, and like so that they'd start shooting, but he'd be able to escape.
Yeah.
But he goes and basically goes to her house. To take her into hiding because he knows that if they've decided to put a hit out on him, they'll know about her.
Because of the way they talk over the phone.
Yeah, because he likes her and he reckons that's enough. Because he
And
just said he wanted to meet with her.
I do like that her reaction to him being in her house, her apartment, is
Yes, yeah, no, she handles it really. That's the other thing is like she isn't like this total doormat that just lets him come into her life and disrupt it. Like she tries to fight him. She gets very confused, especially when she's like, "Did you pack me a bag?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We've got to go." And he's like, "Did you vacuum?" And it was like,
He's like, "Oh yeah, a little."
yeah, it was messy, and it's just like, what? She's just so genuinely confused.
Yeah, because he is still an old man.
Yeah,
And I really like that about this film, that it understands the premise. This film understands itself so well, where it's like, these are old people, and we're going to keep on referencing that they're old people, and they're going to keep doing old people things.
They'll do old people things and then just be insanely efficient at taking people out
Yeah.
that try and attack them.
And then do action movie stuff. But also, we know who these actors are. We're going to let you these actors live out their action movie fantasies.
yeah, absolutely. Like this is just you're gonna like the love that is in this movie of like how ridiculous
Yeah.
getting to play like these experts
And also,
in their field is so fun.
from like the perspective of director and writer, it's like, what can we get Helen Mirren to do? Can we get her to hold and shoot a sniper rifle?
Yeah.
Can we get Morgan Freeman to be a CIA agent? Absolutely. And who doesn't want to see? Who just want to see these actors do their stuff? I really wish it happened more where non-actiony actors, especially like big ones like that, got to do these kinds of films where they're just kind of fun and kind of laughing at action movies as a whole.
Yeah, because it's not a serious. Even though the premise, I guess, is technically quite serious, it's not a serious movie.
No.
I mean, I absolutely adore Helen Mirren.
Oh yeah.
She's an absolute gem.
Yeah.
She's great in this. I forgot how long it takes for her to get introduced, though.
Yeah, she's not in
Oh,
it
yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah, it's probably about halfway through the film, I think.
But so he's being taken down, and obviously Bruce Willis's character, he's Bruce Willis, for real.
Yeah.
He wants to know why he's being taken down.
Yeah, he's being tracked by a current CIA agent, and my note for his introduction is just, "Oi, cunt."
Yeah, it's him, isn't it? It's
It's Carl Urban, but like...
but he looks so clean and polished.
Yeah. Without the beard and without the Judge Dredd helmet, it's like, oh, it's a little Carl Urban.
Yeah, he looks. I mean, and I think that's deliberate as well, isn't it? Like he looks really young
Yeah.
and shiny and new in this.
I mean, this is before... I think it's before he'd really taken off, because, like... I mean, he'd been in Lord of the Rings, but I'm not too sure what he'd done sort of between that and this. Like,
So the idea of being like it was one of the main ones in Lord of the Rings, but like his
Yeah.
career hadn't taken off.
yeah, no, he was
That's a bit
in
rude.
he wasn't one of the Fellowship. It's
Who was he in Lord of the Rings again? Remind me.
Let me have a look.
I was going to say, I don't know why I'm asking you. I'm literally looking at his. Oh, Éomer. Éomer.
Yeah, I want to see what he did between. Oh no, he was in Star Trek as well. Yeah, because he's Bones in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, never mind. He's
his career
Yeah,
has always
Dredd.
taken off.
yeah, he's
Star
had a
Trek,
good career.
Riddick.
Oh, we need to do the Riddick films. Sorry, back.
I'm pretty
back-
sure I only watched that because you made me watch it. So I guess.
Oh yeah,
he's
and then he's in
Ghost
Thor.
Ship.
Oh,
He's in the movie about the ship where people get cut in half.
Yeah, we should probably get back to talking about Red.
Yeah, because otherwise we're going to get very distracted.
Yeah.
Just like normal.
Because if we start looking up what people in the film, what other films
Yeah.
they've
So what
done,
did
we're
Helen
gonna be here
Mirren do
forever.
before this? Yeah, I've just always had a soft spot for Helen Mirren.
She's great when she started doing things like this. Like, another slight
Yeah.
tangent, but like, she's in the Fast and Furious franchise now, and you
Yeah.
can tell that she's just loving it.
Yeah, she's at that point in her career where she doesn't have to. She can just get roles.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She's
She
played
can choose
the
what
queen.
she wants to be.
She can do what she wants.
Yeah, she can do the big motor stuff, but also she can do stupid films.
Yeah.
And you get that. I think Judi Dench kind of did the same for a bit,
Yeah.
where she did some fun films. It's good.
Yeah,
but
at this point she can be whatever. She can be whatever she wants.
and also Judi Dench has always done comedy. Like actors at this level, like Judi Dench and Helen Mirren and Meryl Streep's very similar. They're at that point where they understand that they are a very serious actor. They are actors. They're very special, and that's how the world sees them. So they take the parts where they get to do the stupid things and be funny just for the sake of it being them.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, she's
yeah, exactly.
they've all done quite a lot of like Shakespeare and everything. It's like Patrick Stewart as well.
Yeah. When they take the dumb parts, the sort of parts like this, part of the joke is it's them.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's amazing. Part of the bit is you'd never guess who we got to play this part.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, could they believe their luck when they made this movie that all these people
I
agreed to
imagine-
do it?
It's like Bill Nye in Shaun of the Dead. like,
Yeah.
and Underworld, I guess.
And Underworld.
yeah.
I imagine Underworld is different. Though. Underworld is written quite dramatically. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I imagine getting you. All you'd need to do is get one of these actors, and then the actor would be the main reason to get
Yeah,
the
so-
other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you've got it's an ensemble film, like you say. It's the less serious Expendables.
Yeah, but like you get Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis can get. Bruce Willis will help you get the other ones
Yeah.
because he'll just go. It'll be fun. It'll be fun, and with all of these names, it literally can't do badly.
Yeah.
Just for
Exactly.
the sake of the premise, this film will make money.
Yeah. And they don't make them look young either. I think like in a lot of films when they'll be doing it at the same time, you know, they'll be in not Bruce Willis obviously, he doesn't get hair ever. But John Malkovich, for example, you know, does all sorts of roles, and Helen Mirren will do other roles where she looks, you know, younger as well.
Yeah.
But in this they really lean into like the age side of things.
They look comfortable all the time.
Yeah.
Like other than when the characters are uncomfortable, they're not like in uncomfortable looking outfits. They all look like they're always very nice.
Yeah, you don't see that
yeah.
they're actually wearing their slippers while they're beating the
Yeah.
shit out of people.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, like you first see him and he's in like a really comfy old tracksuit getting a young nurse or like a healthcare assistant to adjust the television for him so he can look at her bum.
Yeah.
I it's, you know, it's a bit sleazy, but it is also quite funny because she notices straight away and like he's harmless. But then it also turns out that he's really not harmless. He's
Yeah, it
ex-CIA.
sort of tells you what you need to know about his character from the get-go.
Yeah.
But also, old people are like that. Like every so often, I go to a like care home to help clean out a few things, and the old ladies are always just like, like eye you up a bit sometimes because they're
Yeah.
used to just. It is mainly women that work in the care homes, so I guess
Ah.
they're like, "Oh, a young man."
You gotta flirt with old women.
Yeah, when my husband used to volunteer for Ring and Ride, and he didn't drive the minivan. You know what that is? It's like the old people, they pick them up
Yeah.
and take them to the
Yeah,
shops.
it's not like you phone them and bang them. It's
Yes, no, just to clarify, husband was not a prostitute. Um,
No, he
they
wasn't a public prostitute because he volunteered.
It's work experience.
Prostitute technically involves the exchange of money.
he'd strap the ladies in
What? Are you
on
sure?
the minibus, make sure they got their seatbelts on,
Right.
and that was his role. And yeah, he did get the occasional like ooh old lady flirt.
Yeah.
I think this was when he was like a teenager, so it's kind of sweet, but probably quite mortifying for him at the time.
But yeah, even Morgan Freeman's reveal, like the actor revealing his one was great.
Yeah, because obviously Bruce is checking in on him because he's like, if I'm getting if there's a hit out on me, is he
There's a hit
safe?
out on everyone.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he's tied the woman up to the bed because he's like, "Please don't leave. You're
Well,
in danger."
he takes her to he's driving her to
motel.
a motel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just sort of talking, and she's mumbling along because he's duct taped her mouth because she wouldn't stop screaming.
Yeah.
It sounds horrific. It sounds like it shouldn't be funny, but it is. And like the way he's talking, like he's trying to explain everything, and then he's like, okay, so well, like she's not done, like she's basically yelling at him, but with duct tape mouth. And then at the end, he's like, what do you want to eat? I'll get some food. And you just hear pizza.
Yeah.
But she does the sensible thing of like, as soon as she does break free, she calls the police.
Little does she know.
Yeah, it turns out that they've already tracked down that they're at the motel and he's a fake policeman, so Bruce Willis knocks him out. And they steal a police car?
Yep.
Yeah, just for a bit.
Yeah, and then get chased by Carl Urban.
Then she's talking about like that bit where she's talking about her first date. She's like, this is not the best first date I've ever had. And she like pauses and then she's like, not the worst.
Yeah.
I love little jokes throughout.
Yeah, and it's nice that they land.
Mm.
Yeah, because all of these are good actors and they get comedy.
Yeah.
And there's actual genuine chemistry between Bruce Willis and Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, his name in this is Frank Moses, which is just whatever.
Great.
I don't know, but it is a good old person name, Frank.
Yeah, it's rare that
He's-
you see. I mean, I know old people names are coming back a bit,
Frank
but I've not
is
seen any babies called Frank for a
It's also the grouchiest name.
Yeah.
God
Like,
damn it, Frank.
I can't think of anyone called Frank being cheery. Because then you get Frankie. If they're cheery, they're Frankie.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're not, they're Frank. But I guess
he gets the call that they got Tom. Is his name Tom in it? Not Tom, Joe. Whatever. Random. That Morgan Freeman has been killed.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he calls and he doesn't answer, and I think that's enough to know.
Yeah.
And we also see a scene of him. He like turns around and there's a guy there with a gun pointing at his head.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, we better go and check in with John Malkovich.
Yeah. Who is playing a paranoid? Put it politely.
Yeah, he's a bit of a like a conspiracy nut job in like a very specific way,
Yeah.
but also he was in the CIA for ages. He's gonna be wary of being tracked down by people.
And they gave him LSD daily.
Yeah, he was part of MK Ultra. Like, no
See?
wonder he's a bit fucked in the head.
Paranoid and bouncy and lives in a house that he built under a car.
Yeah, it's a bunker. Yeah.
He's fine. But then they find a list of, it was like a thing that went wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a list of people that were at a job in Guatemala,
Yeah.
and pretty much everyone on that list so far has been killed.
Apart from one guy.
Yeah, and they're also on that list.
But they go out to find that guy.
Yeah. Oh, they think they're being John Malkovich is just like, there's a woman following us and holds her up at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And then it turns out she was, and there's like a big shootout with a helicopter and stuff. And
Yeah, because
the coolest scene in the movie with the RPG, and he just shoots it and it explodes.
Yes.
yeah,
That
so
was a bit
they
that stayed in my mind.
they find the pilot guy. He starts to explain stuff and then gets killed.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
gets
because
shot
they
by a
have
helicopter.
a list, and then the pilot guy has a list that's got all their names plus one extra name,
Yeah,
and they're like, okay, so that is probably the guy
probably. Yeah.
who's like trying to take us down.
Yeah.
But he gets killed.
Well, yeah, and it's what it does is it consistently proves that John Malkovich's character is right, because he's like
Yeah,
he
'cause
comes
he's
across
like-
as really paranoid, but he's not actually ever wrong. He's like
Yeah,
taking
he's
down
like,
the
it's
number of
the
the
same
helicopter.
helicopter,
Same
yeah.
helicopter.
And then, yeah, they run, and then there's a shootout, and the woman that he held up earlier is like, "Die, old man!"
Yeah, and he's like, old man, no respect.
And then she shoots an RPG at them.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
now, I'm just gonna say, you're not good at using an RPG if you aim completely off into the distance with it. Because she had very small targets to hit, she had people to hit. Just
Yeah.
aim at the floor in front of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why she was like, I'll hit them directly with it. You don't have to hit people with an RPG. That's
Well,
the
these
beauty
young
of...
things, these spring chickens, just don't know how to fire them RPGs. RPGs?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
Not role-playing games. What does it stand for?
a rocket-propelled grenade.
Rocket Propelled Connect. Cool.
No, she just threw a D&D handbook
Yeah.
at him.
To be
It's
fair,
heavy
with
enough.
Ow, hardback.
Yeah, on the corner as well.
Ouchie. And yeah, John Malkovich's character has like a pig. He's like, and we don't get much. It already said like when they're going to take off to try and to go and speak to the pilot, which he doesn't want to do. He just wants to like fake his own death again.
Yeah.
They're like, he's like, right, fine, but I'm bringing the pig.
Yeah.
And it's just this big stuff, like big cuddly pig toy.
Thing
But
is,
of course,
like,
there's a
keeping hold
massive
of.
gun in it.
There's a
Yeah,
grenade
it's just
launcher.
full
in
of
it,
guns. Yeah.
which
Oh,
they
like
perfect
when they blow
aim.
up the guy. He just full on
Just-
like.
Oh yeah,
You
he
see
he
bits.
splatters.
Like, this film isn't that gory. It's not that like visceral. That shot is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see like a limb fly away,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
but it is
And
like
then
in
when
the
he-
distance, I guess.
Yeah. When he
Uh.
blows the woman up by shooting the RPG as well, and she just fires back and she explodes.
And someone throws a grenade at him and he bats it away.
Yeah.
It's such dumb action. But yeah, the bit where he shoots the RPG out of the air is fucking genius.
It's really cool.
Because you know, like, you can tell that's what's going to happen. Because you go,
Yeah, but it's
In-
still good to see it.
in your head, you're like, you know, it'd be cool right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he shot the RPG out of the air, that'd be really cool. And then he does it, you're like, oh my god!
Yeah, it's the setup and payoff is really good in this film
Yeah,
and really consistent.
it's perfect.
And it makes it makes it so entertaining, especially when it's like things like if he says, "Oh, there's a helicopter," it's not just him being paranoid. It is like the helicopter and like obviously we've got to say that the guy that they go and see at the airport gets shot immediately trying to read the number on the helicopter.
Yeah, get shot and killed.
Is it at that point that Thingy gets shot? Bruce Willis.
No, I think he goes to the Russian embassy first because
Oh,
he gets
yeah, of
shot
course.
when they break into the CIA because that's what he
Yeah.
wants to do.
Yeah, because they want to
So-
find out more about who this guy is and why he's bumping everyone off.
Yeah. So he goes to a Russian guy, gets all the codes to get in, and like gets into the CIA, and they
Yeah,
sneak in.
breaks in. Yeah,
In return for a favor.
Yeah, and they sneak in, with Bruce Willis being the general, and
they're both sort of dressed up.
yeah, he keeps being the general. She's like his assistant.
Every now and then the film
Uh,
does cut back to the young whippersnapper CIA agent.
Yeah, because I
Right.
mean it's at this point that he's
The heat is
also
on him.
here.
Well,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what they've done.
Yeah, he just knows that he has to kill them.
Yeah, he
basically.
just knows he has to take them out. Yeah.
But he has no idea what they've done. And when he asks what they've done, they tell him, I don't know, above my
Yeah.
pay grade.
Yeah, she's like, I have not been read into it.
Yeah,
I do like how like even his scenes, they're not necessarily quite as comedic, but it is like it's hyper, like he's hyper like sociopathic, the way he has to go and take someone out and make it look like a hanging.
Yeah.
Like this man's hanged himself, and this guy's like, "Don't you know who I am?" And he's just like, "Of course I do," and like lets him drop.
Yeah.
It's it's good stuff, because he sort of he like, even though he's like not a main character, he has his own arc.
Yeah, it's really nice that he gets a sort of character arc that he does.
Yeah, because he's not like evil. He's just doing his job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that like every other faceless character is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so him and Bruce Willis end up Bruce Willis gets the file from in a vault, like that basically doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And we've seen how hard it is to get into that normally.
Yeah.
As well, because we see the young guy, the young CIA agent, try and get some information about it, and everything is redacted. Oh, he wants to read Bruce Willis's file.
Yeah.
And like everything that Bruce Willis has done is like so redacted that it's like it's more black ink than words on each page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they end up fighting. That's when he gets shot as well.
Yeah, and there's a really good bit with the girl that he's bringing along, woman. I've forgotten her name already. Louise.
I think it's Sarah.
Mary
Louise.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, her name's Sarah Ross. So Sarah's like posing as his, I guess, secretary, or as no, it's not secretary. It's like an expert in something. Was it like a forensics expert? But he drops his contact lens that's going to do the like security reading.
Oh yeah.
And
so the elevator opens and everyone's there with guns, and she's like, "Can you help me find it?"
Yeah, he's like, the general has dropped his contact, and she gets like such a rush that she's like an action junkie, an adrenaline junkie for the rest of the film.
I like that she's like, what could we do? What kind of trouble could we get in for doing this? He's like, death or life in prison. She's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, she's so into it, and it's fun seeing her, like her vigor, pepping up the rest of the crew as well. Where he's just like, oh, I remember when I felt like that doing my first CIA missions, but she's got the same bug that they all clearly have.
Yeah,
like we see it with Helen Mirren as well. Like she can't stop.
Yeah. It's such a good arc, because then you get to the point where he's like, actually, she's going to hurt herself.
Yeah.
She's got all the pep, but none of the training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to really hurt herself on this one. I think that's like most of the second film is about.
Yeah, it's in Russia, and I think she sort of has to pretend to be Russian at one point, and is just reciting the like same 10 words she knows over and over again.
And she really wants to be involved, and he's like, no.
So is it at that point, because he's been shot, they take him to Helen Mirren's house because she can patch him up without questions.
But also Morgan Freeman is there too. He's actually secretly alive.
Oh yeah, and we see like when that scene, that gun was like the safety was pulled on the gun, like he turns around and immediately takes him out in a swivel chair. Oh yeah, every single bit of it, like it's one of those ones. It's very linear. It's bink bank bonk bonk. It's like to the end, but it's so good.
It's an ABC action film that is focused on the actors and the comedy.
Yeah.
Like the storyline.
The plot is not like groundbreaking.
No, it's normal CIA action movie stuff. But
introducing Helen Mirren is it's one of my favourite scenes, because he's like, hello, and she's just flower arranging in her quite nice house.
Yeah.
And then she's like, are you here to kill me? And he's like, no, I'm not here to kill you. And then she realizes that he's her. She can see like there's like blood. He's wearing a coat, but she can see like the bits of blood on his collar, and he does actually look pretty messed up as well, like really pale. And when you're all head and no hair, that is quite obvious.
Yeah.
And then she like moves her hand, and like she had a massive like AK-47 underneath some of the leaves she was rearranging.
Gotta be ready.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about them all, isn't it? Like they might have retired, but they're still ready to go at a drop of a hat.
Yeah, because people keep calling in death notices on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has like the coolest coat as well, Helen Mirren, in the like when they start to track down the people that are out to kill them.
Yeah.
I always remember that coat. I always remember stuck in my mind because it's like a white camouflage, like a snow camouflage.
It is really cool. I mean, all the costumes are great.
She's just so stylish,
Yeah.
but ruthless as well. She's talking to Sarah, sort of get to know her a little bit better. She's like, "Oh, I once fell in love with with an agent," and they're like, "Yeah, I worked for him. My loyalty was questioned, so so they told me to kill him." And she's like, "Oh, what did you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I shot him 3 times in the chest."
Yeah.
Like, oh, ruthless.
But then we learn in a little bit that isn't what happened.
Well, it is what happened.
Yeah.
She did shoot him 3 times in the head.
Yeah,
in the
but she
chest. But
She didn't.
she didn't kill him.
Yeah, she made sure he survived.
She deliberately not killed him.
And I guess they set it up to be. In my mind, I was wondering if they were setting it up to be Frank, the Bruce Willis that she'd shot. But it's
Nah.
actually the Russian dude,
Yeah.
which is a bit more controversial. It's like, okay, I can understand MI5 not being thrilled at that possibility.
But then, yeah, they find out who this other guy is that's on the list, and they all sort of like dress up to go and like interrogate him.
Yes. The girl, yeah, that's where they're having the girls are outside having a chat, and Helen Mirren's there being the sniper, like covering for them. And then Morgan Freeman is in like quite a ridiculous, like diplomat's uniform.
Yeah, it's like a bright blue kind of.
Yeah, with sort of there's more badges on in than fabric.
Yeah, and at the same time, the FBI are also here listening in because they've got an anonymous tip.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they then go full dark side of the CIA kind of interrogation mode. But they don't need to because the guy's a total wuss.
Yeah, he's got like a little safe room, so he's playing a tape in the normal room, and then they go into the soundproof room.
Yeah. Yeah, then thankfully, like, Morgan Freeman, like, takes him out. But this guy's awful. He's so evil.
Yeah.
It's like comic book style evil, bad,
Yeah.
corrupted CIA guy.
And then you find out that he, the other guy, the reason they're all being, like, people are after them is because one of the people that they got out of there is now the vice president, and he's essentially done a fuckload of war crimes.
Yeah, they...
So he's trying to cover it up.
Yeah, they were all there, and when he killed, like, a load of innocent civilians in a...
Yeah.
Was it Guatemala, they said?
Yeah.
So they were part of the task force that got him out. Yeah, now they're basically doing cleanup. So that so that when he goes to be president, there isn't, like, he's not vulnerable to blackmail?
Yeah, I suppose in 2010, a president that hasn't done war crimes was a bit more viable.
Was it? I don't think it was.
Yeah, no, probably not. No,
I
No, I
think
don't think it was.
you're forgetting quite a lot of
pre-presidency at least. Probably still
I mean, you're
yeah,
really
no.
you're testing my logic. Like I just about kept up with what the presidents were doing. The vice presidents could do whatever. I couldn't. I struggled to name a single vice president.
It's
honestly.
harder to commit war crimes without being president, but it's not impossible.
I guess it's just a different scale, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
There's the weapons of let's not go there. But then there's just going rogue as like an insane soldier that's too hyped up on meth or whatever and killing a bunch of people, and then trying to sweep it under the rug when you you move into politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they sort of beat him up, and then they John Malkovich gets out his like insane looking torture devices.
Yeah.
And they're very convincing in the way that they're like going to use all of them on him.
Yeah, so he talks straight away, but then the tape starts jamming, so the FBI like rush the place, and well, they give Bruce Willis a chance to come out, and when he does, like, there's a gunshot, and Morgan Freeman gets shot. I know Morgan Freeman dies at this point, but I missed how.
Was it one of them was trigger happy, one of the FBI agents, or was it Helen Mirren that took him out?
I'm not too sure, because it just, there's a gunshot, and I think Helen Mirren's like, no, that wasn't me. We don't know who that was. And it just becomes like a bit of a firefight again. And because they're running away, that's when Sarah falls down in the snow and gets captured. And Ivan, like, picks up the 3 survivors and rescues them, like the Russian guy.
Oh yeah, because they're trapped, and then it's like who's going to come to the rescue, and then it's the Russian guy sort of sweeps in. Joe sacrifices his life to help Frank and Marvin escape. Sarah is captured by Cooper.
Yeah, and then while Cooper's got Sarah, that Bruce Willis starts like calling him.
Yeah, this bit was so cool because it is actually really, it's clever.
Yeah,
like really clever.
Exactly,
because
you're like
creepy
you're
as
like
well.
Bruce Willis would know why he would know that the phone call's being tracked. So
yeah, so he's talking long enough, and they're sort of, it's like a cat and mouse game where he's like, they're like trying to keep like telling the CIA agent like keep him talking, we're nearly there, and he's at CIA agent's house.
Yeah, because while he's talking, he's like, you find these people and you make connections with them and you love them and you don't want anything to happen to them, and it's clearly then just like, oh shit, no, that's a threat.
Yeah, it's absolutely brutal because at this point, like, you're rooting. Obviously, you're rooting for the Bruce Willis all the time, but like just watching this guy, this CIA agent fall at like every hurdle, trying to catch them, and like it's such a brilliant like. He's not trying to rescue the damsel in distress. He's like one up the bluff essentially, because we know, hopefully, Frank Moses would never, as a character, would never go and kill a CIA agent's kids.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's better is he then leaves all the documents that he found about what happened at Guatemala for Carl Urban to see, so he can be like, look, this is what's really happened. This is what you're currently covering up.
Yeah.
So now they're like, well, we're going to go and kill the vice president.
Yeah, the group, they go to this like fundraiser to kidnap him. It's really cool because they get to do the full sort of glamorous spy side of it. And Helen Mirren's just in like this beautiful long white dress, and like, then 5 minutes later she's shooting a massive like machine gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the action sequence while they're trying to get to him is like really good, but the whole time it's like, Bruce Willis isn't here, I wonder where he is. And then when the limo finally picks up the guy, you're like, I wonder if Bruce Willis is driving. Yes, he is. That was the only bit where I'm like, yeah, this is obvious as to what's going to happen, but it was still really fun.
Yeah, because I think they know that by this point, this isn't the bit where it all goes wrong. Like, they've made it clear that like this is part of the story. And everyone's got quite good plot armor.
Yeah,
point.
I mean, even Helen Mirren gets shot, but she's rescued by the Russian guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's when he swooped. Does he swoop in to save her twice?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, because we find out, obviously he's got the three scars above his heart. And he's like, that's when I knew she loved me.
Yeah, I knew she loved me because she didn't go for the head.
So they all go. They arranged for a swapsies. Cooper. That's it. Yeah. So Frank calls Cooper and arranges to trade the vice president for his girlfriend, Sarah.
Yeah.
And it's clear that like both sides intend to like rip the other one off.
Yeah, and then while they're there, the guy who they sort of infiltrated is the house of earlier is there, and it turns out he was actually behind it. So.
Yeah, like the
Carl
vice
Urban's
president
like,
was like in on it, but it wasn't actually the ringleader.
Yeah, he wasn't calling the shots or anything. And so the other guy then shoots the vice president, and Carl Urban is like, well, I'm a good guy now. And he handcuffs Bruce Willis but gives him the key.
Yeah.
It ends, to be fair, like this scene ends pretty quickly because he's just like, fuck you, Cynthia, shoots her, and then Bruce Willis like just throat punches the other guy and kills him.
Yeah, we hadn't really talked about his boss much, but like his boss is obviously trying to get him to do his job of killing off these retired agents.
Yeah.
Yeah, her like determination to not to just follow orders is what obviously lets her down.
Yeah, exactly. I do like how it like sort of plays with the trope at the next bit where like everything's fine and they're talking and they're okay, and then there's just a gunshot and it's like, oh shit, who's been shot? And then it turns out John Malkovich has just shot the guy in the head even though he was dead. He's like, yep, there we go. Because normally when that happens, it's like, oh no, the hero's been shot.
Yeah, you're expecting like them to look down on an ever-growing patch of blood.
Yeah. But no, he John Malkovich just wanted to make sure he was dead.
Yeah, so she's oh sorry, no, she's not just following orders, I got that wrong. She's in on it as well.
Yeah.
Like by basically she's getting promotions by doing what this guy wants.
Yeah, exactly.
Using the CIA as like his own like hit force, the special force to like take out people, rather than it being like I don't know what it is supposed to be, but like more ethical than that.
Yeah, I imagine taking out actual bad guys, not just
Yeah.
ways to get into power.
Yeah. Not just covering up some dark secrets that shouldn't actually be covered up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he gets to be a good guy. He gets so that was really nice as well because he's like by the end I was quite fond of him because you're like, oh, I kind of want him to kill the guys because he's trying so hard.
Yeah, it is nice that he's got the character arc of he's the villain, but actually there's a bigger villain behind it all, and so he ends up turning good when he realizes that he's not doing the right thing, and it's like, yeah, no, that is a good character.
Yeah. It's so like I think this wasn't as like spectacular as I'd imagined it, as I'd remembered it, but I still had a really good time. Like this is a movie you really do not have to pay attention to. Like the plot, it's like it's a very similar plot to that god awful film we watched the other day. The name I've forgotten already. How have I forgotten the name? It's not that
because the film doesn't exist. Yeah.
Oh god, what's it called with Chris Evans?
The Losers.
The Losers, yeah, that's the one.
I couldn't tell if you were making a joke then.
Oh no, that wasn't a bit. That was just my memories of Steve.
Wow.
But yeah, The Losers was like the plot didn't matter, but then there wasn't enough. But they did kind of booster it with good comedy or really good action scenes. Whereas this one, like the plot is secondary, but it's still a coherent plot. They spell it out for you in case, like, which is useful. You're not really paying attention to that. You're paying attention to the action sequences and the silly comedy side of it.
Exactly.
Like just how
the fun of these old actors just going through a batshit action.
Still got
movie.
it, kind of. Yeah, it never gets old watching them like these like old people. Like I just felt like crazy John Malkovich like taking out young CIA agents and that kind of thing. It's just I'm glad we watched it because it's really also highlighted what The Losers failed to do.
Yeah,
like it's not engaged. That film was not engaging.
These films literally came out the same year as well.
Yeah, and The Losers had it had Chris Evans. Obviously, it wasn't like old people, so it didn't have that spin on it. But like,
no, like it had like it had four pretty
big
good names that should make a film good, but. Can't rely on that all the time.
I feel like that one fell into they didn't want their characters to be funny or goofy. They wanted them to be witty and cool. Whereas in this one, everyone's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, John Malkovich the most, but all of them are playing absolute caricatures.
Yeah.
So it works really, really well. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just like a nice warm hug of a film. Like there's nothing. Nothing really that bad is going to happen. It's a shame that Morgan Freeman dies, but they've made it very clear that he's got stage 4 liver cancer.
Yeah.
And that he was dying anyway, so it's like he's really not got a lot to lose. And you can tell he'd much rather die foiling a corruption scandal
fun.
Yeah, than of cancer.
Exactly. A lot more meaningful, yeah.
And the bit where they're talking to Helen Mirren and Bruce Willis is like, oh, how do you do it? How do you have this like normal life? Because obviously one thing that Bruce had really struggled with was retirement, was the loneliness and they're not having anything to do. And we find like Helen Mirren looks like she's kind of readjusted quite well, but then she's like, I do take this occasional job on the side. It's like I just can't stop.
Yes,
it's all I know how to do, and it's nice seeing him sort of be less lonely.
Yeah,
everyone else is going through the same sort of thing he is, and it's nice.
And even like the records guy is really old, and like to the point where he's got armor in the like they can't do anything to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I've
he's
been
like,
here too long.
"Oh, the the agents these days, they're nothing like in the good old days like this guy." Like-
Yeah. Yeah, they don't
So-
make them like they used to.
yeah.
Out of 10.
Oh, I think it's a solid 9 for me. Yeah, nine pigs stuffed with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Like it made me want to immediately watch Red 2, which I reckon wasn't as good, from what I can remember, but isn't bad either. It is kind of more of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the second one actually.
Helen Mirren in Red 2 is, because she's in it from the start, she has one of the best action sequences in it in Red 2. So I think we should do it because I want to.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the film again regardless.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I can't watch a movie and not do podcast.
Can't watch a movie for free.
No.
Yeah, I don't get out of bed for less than a podcast.
That's on a podcast recording.
That's sad. I
Yeah,
should talk to someone about that.
probably.
I have other things in my life.
Yeah. I think I'll give this film, I think an 8? I don't know, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I missed it when it came out and I saw it later. It's a good film. It's just a good film. What it boils down to.
Yeah, I've been having like the IMDb page with all the different scenes coming up, and it just reminded me. Yeah, the comedy it's back and forth. It's none of these like quips, and it's so refreshing
Yeah.
after after everything else, and yeah, genuinely funny lines as well. Like the quote, like this is a very quotable film
Yeah. In a good way, not in an
in
annoying
a good way.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
there were a lot of traps it could have fallen into, a lot of pitfalls it could have fallen into, and it manages to skirt around them all, I think, pretty well. Like, it's not misogynistic.
Yeah. Or it dives headfirst into them. Like the traps
Yeah,
it
well,
does
it's like,
when the
John Malkovich is like, are you sure we should, Sarah's like, are you sure we should be around him? Like, he seems
Dangerous.
pretty dangerous and eccentric, and he's like, well, he did believe that the CIA were infiltrating his mind in the 80s, and then it's like, but they were actually
Turns
giving
out.
him doses of LSD on a daily basis. And she's like, well, in that case, he looks great. He's like, yeah,
yeah, that goes
amazing.
down really well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this as well. I think I'd agree. I'd give this an 8 out of 10 always.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
But yeah.
it is weird seeing him so young and not, because
Yeah.
he's now firmly typecast for me as the boys character. I think because he loves it so much in the boys.
Yeah. I think it's just him not having a beard, which is the
Mm.
like apart from obviously Judge Dredd, where you never see his face because he's got a massive helmet on. I don't know any other film where he doesn't have the beard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
no.
And like in Judge Dredd, yeah, it's easy when they're not. It's the same as like really good voice actors, because essentially, if you're wearing a helmet the entire time, you are basically a voice actor.
Yeah.
Voice actor in a 3D film.
With live action mocap.
Live action, yeah. But I do not. I've seen Dredd, and I do not associate him as a character with it at all.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, he looks so. I didn't recognize him. It took me a while.
Yeah.
And like I saw this first, but I didn't recognize him when I watched The Boys. I was like, his face looks familiar, and even with Star Trek, like I'd totally forgotten.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's beardless in Star Trek as well.
Yeah,
'cause
he
he's
is beardless.
Bones in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks so different in The Boys. But yeah, sort of weathered and gruffy. But
Yeah.
it's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, it's nice to watch a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice, enjoyable one. So, yeah, we should end it on a high note. So, with that, I've been Dan.
I've been Michael.
And I've been Helena.
You can find this podcast on social media at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. We're on Discord if you want to come and chat to us. Let us know what you liked about this film, what you didn't like. Have you seen it? The usual. Which like elderly actors would you want to see in
Yeah.
movies like this? I'm going to go
Or
for
like-
Maggie Smith.
Oh, fuck yeah. Or like just non-action star actors doing
Yeah.
action roles. Because I'd love a Zoe Deschanel as a ex-CIA agent. I think that'd be great.
Oh man, that would be so bizarre.
Yeah, just
And
make it
she's just
weird.
really tough, sort of Mr. and Mrs. Smith style.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's still got the same facade. Like she quit. She quit CIA. Now she teaches children's music lessons.
Yeah. And she kills people with instruments. Also, can Emma Thompson be in it? Because I think she'd be amazing in an action film.
Yeah. I'm up for Maggie Smith, Zoe Deschanel, and Emma Thompson in an action film.
That's
together.
our new Charlie's Angels.
The bizarrest action film you've ever seen.
Yeah, Emma
And I think I know what we're
Thompson,
doing
actually, yeah,
for
because
Patreon.
Yeah.
she's been on anything particularly actiony.
What, Emma Thompson?
Yeah.
I think she has. I have memories of her being in action films. I have memories of her holding a gun, actually. I don't know if it's like in a film.
That's just your memory of Love,
That's
actually.
Emma Thompson. She's great.
She's Agent O in Men in Black International.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like the sort of one in charge in that.
I'd love to see her
But
as
Alone in
in a
Berlin.
red
Have I seen
type
that?
film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if she's been like the main focus of a proper spy action comic book.
No. I mean, she's Mrs. Trunchbull in the Matilda the musical, so maybe she's got a gun in that.
Maybe. Emma Thompson. She has holds a gun energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Oh, maybe it's from a Johnny English movie because she's in that as the Prime Minister.
Maybe. That's what we're gonna make that action film for Patreon.
That sounds like a damn good thing to spend our money on.
I'm thinking they were maybe agents, like a group of female agents in like the 70s and 80s where it was a bit shit. And they had to do like honey trap missions, and then like after that they quit because they just hated it.
Yeah.
And they have to come back and they have another mission, but it's with more dignity.
Yes. Why seduce him when you can just shoot him?
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine Maggie Smith saying that line. Oh, it should go hard as well.
Oh yeah. Like that's the beauty of like the comic book films when they go whole hog and it is funny because like most comics are entertaining. They're supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And like they're also really dumb.
Yeah, really.
like lean into it, you know? That's the most important thing with comic book stuff is lean into how fucking stupid it all is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, excellent. I would pay to see that movie, but I'd rather people pay us to write it.
Maggie Smith and Emma Thompson were agents back then. There was a third agent that worked with them. Sadly, they died, so the addition is their daughter. That's how it works.
Perfect.
There you go.
And
Who
their
is
daughter is Emma Stone.
Sure.
I don't know. I just like Emma.
Yeah, she can
Emma
be in it
Stone
too.
can be the villain.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
she'd be a great villain.
Be a great villain. And you could have
Has
the
she been
character.
evil in
review.
anything yet?
I don't think so.
I mean, even in Cruella, she's sort of the good guy.
She's there's a point of Cruella, she is the good guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in Zombieland, I guess she's kind of bad.
True.
Yeah, sort of like a badass in Zombieland, yeah.
What if Emma Stone
Oh, the
is...
favourite. She is the baddie in the favourite.
What if Emma Stone is Zoe Deschanel's normal, non-agent friend who kind of gets swept up in it? Because you'd think it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
Nah, Zoe Deschanel's the... She's like the maths teacher at the school or something.
They're two that everyone says they're roommates, but the older two are just like, now we know.
We know, yeah. But yeah, Zoe Deschanel's not a secret agent, but her mum trained her properly because she knew one day it might be important. And then whoever her dad is also a big actor that gets a big reveal.
Bill Nye, why not?
Oh, fuck
He loves
yeah.
that shit.
Fuck yes.
We're going to do Alex Rider properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like it's becoming the Rookie, but
Yeah. Maybe we should stop talking about it, otherwise someone's going to steal our idea.
Yeah, this is our idea. We can definitely get this made.
oh yeah,
100%.
we have the connections now.
We know all
Yeah,
those people.
If you want to go and sign up to our Patreon, this might happen.